Midnight Rider by the Allman Brothers Band is going to be played in drop D tuning. If you don't know what that is, it's where you take your 6th string, which is typically tuned to an E, and you drop its tuning to a D so that it's the same note as your 4th string, it's just 1 octave lower. Alright, the intro to this song on the recorded version of it, which I didn't do in the intro to the song, is a fingerpick part that happens across a D chord. I'll have my first finger on the 3-string 2 fret, my ring finger on the 2-string 3 fret, and then don't even worry about your open 1. You're going to avoid it in how you're doing this. And you'll be plucking your thumb on the 4 string, which is open, your first finger on the 3 string, and your second finger on the 2 string. And to me it sounds like something along those lines. That first little flurry of notes is pretty quick. You strike with your thumb, and then immediately you pluck with your with your first and second finger on strings 3 and 2, and then you come back to your thumb on the open 4. So very slowly what you're doing is, and then you would just flick down with your first and second fingers across the open string for the fretted strings 3 and 2, so that you've got a but it's much quicker than that. It's something along those lines, like your first and second fingers almost come off as a pinch that's just happening in very quick, rapid succession. Like, you know, folks that just like do that with their fingers. That's kind of what this picking pattern is with your thumb first and second. Like your thumb is with a quick first and second between. Or at least that's what it sounds like to me. Alright, so hopefully that gives you an idea of that. Whenever you get to the song, inside of this D chord that we've got, and again, just avoid the open 1 string. If your 1 string rings out, it's not going to kill the song, but I wouldn't worry about fretting it with your second finger where it typically goes on the 1 string 2 fret, because you're going to be using your first finger for hammering on the 5 string 2 fret. So inside of the D chord, you'll hit the open 5 string and then hammer on with your second finger to the 5 string 3 fret, and then immediately hit the 4 string behind it twice, and then you want to come back to where your second finger is on the 5 string 3 fret, and then hit the 4 string again. And that's the riff over and over. And then like after that last open 4, you can just kind of hit your open 6 string to let that fill space. And that's the riff. Now that's kind of boring to just do all by itself on an acoustic guitar. So I tend to try to get a strumming pattern going while also emphasizing that riff. So it's like I'm strumming across a D chord, but my second finger is hitting those movements as well. Also, just to add some flair, if you put your second finger down on the 6 string 3 fret and pulled that, or the 4 string 3 fret and pulled that, that's a good little box for kind of bluesy feel sound there. Alright, whenever we get to the chorus is going to be an A sharp. I don't know precisely how it's being played. You could play it as a bar chord, where you've got your first finger on the 5 string 1 fret and your pinky finger or ring finger, whichever is most comfortable for you, fretting the 3rd fret of strings 4, 3, and 2. And make sure that whenever you go to this chord, you don't want the open 6 ringing out here. The open 6 would kill this chord, so just strings 5, 4, 3, and 2. See, I just hit the open 6, it sounded bad. Or, I tend to sometimes play it like this, where my first finger goes down to the 5-string 1 fret, my first finger mutes out the 4-string, I'll leave the 3-string open, and I'll let my pinky grab the 2-string 3 fret, and I play that chord. And then it goes into a C chord, just a standard C chord, ring finger to the 5-string 3 fret, second finger to the 4-string 2 fret, open 3 string, first finger on the 2-string 1 fret. You can have an open 1 string here, and then back into the... Whenever it gets to the lead break just happens over a vamp of a C chord to the A sharp, to the C chord, to the A sharp, to the C chord, to the A sharp, back to the C chord, back to the A sharp, and then into the back to the D. So whenever you're strumming the chorus and that bridge lead break, I think that strumming pattern right there would work fine. Down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down. So those are the chords and the movements to Midnight Rider by the Allman Brothers Band. Hopefully this gives you an idea of how to approach the song.